You know what you should do? You should follow me on Twitter at Bromo018. Link in the description. Do it now. Hello everyone, welcome along to our Ajax career mode series on FIFA 19. It's Bromo18 here as always, and today a big episode for you. It is the start of season 2 as we take on FC Emmen in the opener of the season. So much to get through before that though, oh my word. It has been a busy off season, it's been a busy transfer season. There's so much for me to tell you about, and you know what, I'm not going to beat around the bush about this. First of all, if you haven't checked out the previous episode where we had a Season 1 recap, I talked about potential plans and stuff for Season 2, I think you should go and watch that one first before you come on to this one. There's a couple of things that I spoke about in that we will come on to. But nevertheless, let's move on to today. Let me show you what's been happening. Let's go into top deals, and you may have already spotted it if you're eagle-eyed viewers. First of all, we'll look at the ins, and we brought in Charlie Masonda on loan from Chelsea. Now, you might remember that last season he was at Vitesse in this, and he kept scoring against me, you know, and so I was quite impressed with him anyway. So I scouted him during pre-season, and I went to try and loan him in, and then during negotiations, all of a sudden I thought, you know what, I don't want him. I went to exit, but instead of pressing exit, I accidentally pressed accept. I don't know how I did that, to be honest. You know, your guess is as good as mine. Don't ask, because I have no idea. So he came in, and I don't really want to cancel it because I've got to pay now. But nevertheless, we was really looking for a winger. So, you know, that's great. Welcome Masonda to the club, and also Kelvin Stengs, which was a highly requested transfer for me to make in the comment section. You guys, apparently Ajax have been linked to him in real life. I was able to prize him away from AZ for a measly 3.6 million. His release clause was 3.6 mil. So I paid it and brought him in. Played him in pre-season. There's a lot to work on. You know, his stamina is terrible, as is his finishing. So we need to work on that for sure. But he looks very promising. He looks good. He's got some really good attributes in other areas, so I'm looking forward to seeing how he can do. In terms of outgoings, only 2 so far. One is Siem de Jong, 2.2 million. Basel took him off our hands. We was never going to play him. We looked to sell him instantly, and thankfully, you know, we've freed up a bit of space, bit of wage budget, etc. And he goes to Switzerland. And then the big one. Yes, here it is. It's a sad day. I really didn't want to do this. Matthias de Ligt goes to Manchester City for £100 million. Unbelievable transfer fee. Obviously, you know, I really didn't want to do this. He's so good. He's, you know, 86 rated in this, and still growing. And he was just so good. But, you know, you guys have been asking throughout the career, you know, are you going to sell the likes of de Ligt, de Jong, etc.? And the answer was, if I got a transfer offer in the region of what Ajax received for Frenkie de Jong from Barcelona, which was, you know, around 65 million plus add-ons, excuse me, then I would have to accept it, because at the end of the day, we're doing a realistic career mode, and Ajax, the board at Ajax, are not going to turn down this sort of money. You know, if they accept 65 million for de Jong, they'll accept 100 million for Matthias de Ligt. Originally, the offer was about 75 million. I haggled that up for 100 million, and there it is. So yeah, he goes. It's a sad day, but you know, we move on. We have to find a replacement for him, and this is something that I need to speak to you guys about actually, as we look at the incomings. By the way, Ravo Morrison also came in. You might remember, signed him on a pre-contract deal. He came in and he's played well in pre-season, so looking forward to using him. But yeah, on to this. Yeah, there's a few players I've been looking at, and I'm actually gonna give you guys the opportunity to make a couple of decisions for me now. So first of all, Timothy Fosu-Mensah. I wanted to bring him on loan, and that was my plan last season. He was on loan at Fulham, obviously last season. And I thought, that's a realistic move, because in real life, he's up Fulham on loan, he's not getting any game time, next to no game time, and so, obviously, when he goes back to Man United at the end of the season, I thought, that is a realistic move, comes back to Holland, obviously young player, on loan, you know, Ajax, great club for him to move to, and I thought, you know, that's a good deal. Now, simulate end of the season, all of a sudden, his ratings shoot up about 3 overall to 76, and now Man United won't loan him out, as you can see here. So, as a result, it means if we want him, we have to buy him. So here's the first opportunity for you guys to choose. You get the vote, a poll right here. Do I or do I not buy Timothy Fosu-Mensah? Don't worry about the price. If they're asking for too much money, I won't pay it. I'm looking to pay something around his value, 8.5, 9 million, something in that region. You know, if it ends up being, you know, 11 million plus, it's not going to happen. Again, weekly wage, I'll haggle that down, no problem. So, yep, that's the first one for you guys. Do we buy him or not? There's your poll. Second poll is this. Onto Miranda. I want an experienced head. You know, we've got a lot of young players. Almost all of the squad are just young players, other than the couple of, you know, Blind, Tadic, Ziyech. You know, the rest of them are very young, and as a result, I want to bring in this experienced head, and I would like it to be a centre back, because obviously we've got a bit of a centre back shortage at the moment. Miranda is one I look at and think, yeah, you know, he's fairly cheap. Again, the price. His contract runs out at the end of the season, so I think I can get him for 9, 8, maybe 7 million, which I think is a fair deal. Again, the weekly wage, haggle that down to at least half of that 70,000, if not less, you know. So here's the second poll. Do I or do I not sign Miranda? What do you guys think? I don't know. If not, if you don't want me to, that's fine. But give me suggestions, you know. We probably want to buy 2 centre-backs, really, but I want one centre-back to be an experienced player, you know, 29, 30, etc., a bit of a leader, you know what I mean? Just to keep that realism, I want someone to be that voice. You know, we don't really have much of that, maybe Blind, potentially Tadic, but apart from that, you know, we're sort of lacking. Obviously, Huntelaar's retired now, so he's not here, so, you know, we need that you know, that sort of experienced leader figure. So, yeah. Let me know, guys, what do you think? Elsewhere, you'll see here, we tried to bid for Tyne Koopmeiners, and Koopmeiners, should I say, even. So far, to no luck, but I will go back in for him. We offered about 11 million there. I was looking really to make it about 9.5. They were being stingy with the selling fee. I was being stingy with the purchase fee, and, you know, it ended up being like this. But I really want him. I really like the look of him. Originally, I was going to play him at centre-back, because as you can see, he can play at centre-back. But, you know, having looked into him a lot more, both on his stats and also, you know, online and stuff, I feel like he might be wasted there. You know what I mean? He looks like he'd be better at centre defensive mid, maybe even in our cam positions, or also in another centre mid position in another formation, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, I'm going to go back in for him because I really like the look of him. Young from Holland, again going back to AZ Alkmaar. We've already signed 1 or 2 players from there. But I really like the look of him, and I think he could be a really good fit. So we are going to go back in for him once it lets me some time next week. Another one, Sander Berge. He's had a lot of suggestions also in the comment section. A few of you saying about how good he is. I've actually played with him before in this. In another career mode where I was manager of Norway, and it was a few years in, he'd grown to like 84, I don't know, something like that, and he was really good then, and I actually played him at centre back, and I feel I would also play him at centre back in this, so I might sign him. We're going to see how it goes though, see how my other signings pan out first, see what the squad is looking like, but yeah, that's really about it at the moment. Vandenberg is another one. At the moment, they're not looking to sell, but maybe we're looking to him. Scouting Mangala, again, his contract runs out at the end of the season. Potentially, I don't know, that might not be as realistic, but we'll see anyway. But yeah, that's about it at the moment. Again, make sure to vote in those 2 polls. Let me know, should I or should I not buy Fosu Mensah and also Miranda. And if not, give me suggestions. Who should I buy? I'm looking for someone like Fosu Mensah is perfect because I would like someone who can play right back but also centre back, just for that versatility. And also because of the new formation that we may or may not, we may sometimes use, which obviously I'll talk about in a minute. Again, so if not him, then you know, bring me in suggestions and let me know who you think we should go on for. But enough of transfer tour now. You know, we move on to today's game. And I have decided to go for the 4-3-3. Those of you who watched the last episode will know that I am actually experimenting with a 3-4-3. And it's a throwback to the Johan Cruyff 3-4-3. Which, you know, all you Dutch football fans will know so well. And I played pre-season, madly enough. Every game in pre-season I played. We won the tournament, and I played this formation all the way through, and it was alright. You know, there's still a couple of things I need to work on, but it was decent. So it's another option for us to use. But again, with 3 centre backs, we obviously have that issue now because we've only got 3 centre backs at the club. One of whom is Daley Blind. I'm not overmading him at centre back in this game. He might be better. He played well in pre-season there, to be fair, when he did play there, but you know, in the 4-3-3 formation, definitely not. But you know, we've only got 3 centre backs now. We need 1 or 2 more for the rotation purposes and things like that. So yeah, so as a result, for now, we're going to use the 4-3-3, and this is the squad. It's very standard to what you'd have seen last season. Anana in goal, Van Drongelen and Per Schurz at the back. Then Mats Rawi and Tagliafico on either side. Frenkie de Jong in holding midfielder position. And Hakim Ziyech and Dusan Tadic. It's been a tough one. Could have picked Labiad, could have picked Ravel Morrison, who played very well in pre-season. We go with Tadic though. And then up front we've got Groeneveld, Neres and Boadu rounding off the team. The likes of Kelvin Stengs on the bench. Can't find a place on Masondo. I think I prefer Bande at the moment, but we'll see how he plays. Obviously I haven't played with him yet, so we'll see how that one goes. But yeah, this is it. Danilo is another thing I want to quickly mention. Played him in pre-season quite a lot, and he was okay. So at the moment, we're not loaning back out or trying to get rid of him. We'll see how it goes. We've got 3 or 4 strikers now, so we're looking fairly compact here, fairly fleshed out. But yeah, that's about it really, guys. We now move on to the opening game of the season as we start our challenge to retain the Eredivisie title. So without further ado, let's begin the game at home to FC Emmen. Here we go then, kick-off. Can we get off to a good start this season and set the tone for the rest of the league time?
This is the home team lineup. Patience is the name of the game at the moment.
Comes to Ziyech. Ziyech looking to offload it to Boadu. Oh, that must have took it. Wow, how has he missed the target full stop there?
He's going to find it difficult forgetting about that one for the next few days.
Well, he tried to get the ball wide, but it's been cut out.
Oh, it's interception from Groeneveld, and he's going to try and lay it off to Boadu. It's a poor ball, and Boadu, as a result, is forced into a chance that's too close to the keeper. We can go again, though. Ziyech. Well, it was supposed to be through to Ziyech. It will end up being laid off to Neres, and the goalkeeper saves into corner.
Well, only 2 more minutes to be added on by the...
In stoppage time now. Can we provide something before the break? Groeneveld onto the overlapping Tadic, who's going to whip it in. Ziyech is there, and it's 1-0 finally. Broken the deadlock. We haven't been at our best today. Tadic in particular, and Ziyech actually, have both been 2 players really performing below par in this first half. But thankfully, our possession has made them pay. We have been utterly dominant. And finally, we got something to show for it. It's not actually the best of headers, but it's enough to beat the goalkeeper. He finds a little bit of space in the box, and Tadic is able to find him. And finally, with a few seconds before half time, Ajax make it 1-0. Right, well, there's half time then, and not the best of halves, to be honest. But again, it's been utterly dominant. But again, we're not showing the quality that we can usually in instances. We're going to go with this for now. I was going to make a couple of changes, but that goal has sort of, you know, changed my plans a little bit. We'll see how it goes for now. Maybe give it till 60 minutes and then see where that takes us.
Inroads.
De Jong. Over to Tadic. Tadic finds Boadu. It's a nice touch.
Here comes the support.
And he'll whip it in now. Neres gets away from his man. No, and it's offside, unfortunately. I thought maybe he'd just beaten the line.
Well, that assistant there.
But unfortunately, he's called back for offside. Still 1-0. It's actually time for a couple of substitutions. I think we just missed the call, actually. Let's see what we can do here. We're actually going to take off Danjuna Groeneveld. Bring on Hassani Bande. And we're also going to bring on... I think Donny van der Beek will come on for Tadic, and we'll swap those two around. Put van der Beek into that box-to-box role and Ziyech more of that advanced midfielder role. See what that can do for us. Straight to Bande, who's got a bit of space to drive into now. Soon closed down. Boadu will come out to Neres on the right. It's not the best of balls again.
And we're into the last 10 minutes.
Neres going to whip it in. Boadu's on the end of it. Oh, another opportunity goes beckoning here. Let's have a look what else we can do. Neres starting to look a bit tired. Thinking maybe take him off for... In fact, no, we'll take off Boadu and we're going to bring on Cassiera. Keep Neres on because he's you know, by far been our best player as always.
It's an interesting substitution.
And they can hit us on the break. It's past stoppage time now, waiting for the referee's whistle. Van Jongelen. It's not the best of balls, and there it is, 1-0 in the end, we win. It's not a very good performance at all, not going to lie to you guys. It's actually a pretty poor performance. The quality just wasn't there at all. And you can put that down, hopefully, to a lack of match sharpness, and maybe we'll grow into it as the season pans on. Obviously, we had a lot of possession. You know, they didn't threaten at all. We had a couple of chances to make it, you know, make it more comfortable, but in the end, not enough quality. So yeah, disappointing, but thankfully we've won, and you know, that is what the best teams do. They win playing badly. You know, that's what you got to do sometimes. So yeah, not the most thrilling starts of the season, but we get the 3 points, and that is the most important thing. Obviously, we were the first game, so we can't compare the league table. But yeah, that's it for the opening fixture. In the next episode, I do believe we're gonna do the PSV away game for sure. We'll also have the Champions League group stage draw, I believe, somewhere in this week or this week, one of the two. So we're going to show that in that episode as well, and we'll also recap on any further transfer business that we've done. Might even show transfer deadline day, I don't know, we'll see. Maybe we'll save that for the episode afterwards, but for sure we'll have the Champions League group stage draw and also PSV away, as we also recap on any transfer business. Don't forget, guys, to vote in those polls. Let me know if I should buy those players, and keep the transfer suggestions coming in as well. Really appreciate that, and I always look into them, give them a scout, etc., see if they can, you know, sort of fit into what we're trying to do here. But on that note, it's time to round it off there. So if you've enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like and also subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Be sure to follow me on Twitter using the Twitter handle @Bromo018. The link is in the description for that. And on that note, I'm Bromo18, and I'll see you soon.